Hello everyone, welcome to JCE Connect. So in this we'll start with the next part of module 2, that is resource management, the different class of labors. So here we'll be studying about the class of labors. So you can see there is a broad range for the type of labors in the construction industry. So there are mason, metal worker, tile fitter, electrician, carpenter, painter, site supervisor, store in charge, equipment operator. So you can see the different types of labors in the construction industry, and they will be knowing certain knowledge about that particular work. Okay, so here you can see the different labors here. They are tile fixers, masons, rebar worker, metal worker, electrician, plumber, painters, equipment operator, as well as the site supervisor. So here tile fixer will be having their own knowledge and technique as well as the experience only in the fixing of the tiles, so that we can assign the particular work to that specialized person. And similarly here mason will be there, so he will be used in the construction of brickwork or other plastering works of the walls and all, right? So we need to pick out few labors as per their techniques or as per their knowledge as well as the experience, and then we need to use that one only for that particular work, so then only we can use the productivity part well in manner in the construction industry, so that it leads in the maximum gaining of the profit. Okay, and next, the tile fixer here, so they are the different class of labors. So here the tile fixer, usually we can call it as a tiler, which is he is responsible for laying hard tile, and even we can say that marbles to the floors, decks, and wall throughout any number of construction projects. So however the tilers are susceptible to a number of injuries, because they need to cut that one at the required shape. If it is not, and then during that particular process they will be having certain injuries. Okay, so here the constant staining and bending over a surface that can lead to a respective stress injuries, and heavy tiles can cause serious injuries if handled improperly. Because here you can see the tile working that is purely dependent upon the sizes of that tiles. If they are in a smaller sizes, if you need to fix that one for bathroom works or WC works, then that work will be easier. The same thing, if you want to use that one for the walls and all, that time you need to fix that one with a larger size of the tiles, so that time it will be much stress to place that one from one place to other, and then we need to hold that one until and unless it should get bind to the wall surfaces. Okay, so that is a major stress it will get applied by using this fixing of the tiles. And then mason, so here mason is a trade person who is well versed in brick and block laying, and even the concrete finishing, and even we can be used in the protecting of repairing of concrete works. So here you can see the brickwork which is going on in the construction site, so that one it can be done by using mason. So he will be having a certain knowledge about how exactly they need to finish this work, and then how to check the vertical alignment by using the plumb bob, and which type of bonds they need to be used, and how exactly we need to place the bricks one over the other. So each and everything will be known to the mason, because he is well specialized and well trained in only those works. And even the properties of this mortar will be knowing to this most mason, and even the usage of the materials with respect to standard proportions. So each and every aspects, whatever it will comes under in the brickwork or concrete work, it will be well known to this mason part, so that without hesitation he can carry out the work well in advanced mode. And then moving on to the next class of laborers, that is rebar worker. So here you can see the rebar workers, they are much specialized with respect to a reinforcement part. So here in the planning part, they will be giving certain idea about the reinforcement details to the site engineer. Their site engineer is just used to give the clear idea about how exactly they need to place the rebar works. So as per their suggestions, the length of the bar as well as the diameter of the bar, just by visualization only these workers will come to know. So they will be knowing much details about these rebars, so that that work can be easily carried out. Okay, so they are also belongs to different class of labors. They are rebar worker, and even they will be knowing the spacing between one bar to the other, so that it is easy to carry out these works without any additional information. And the metal worker, so here the duty of metal workers in the construction is to maintain and install the variety of metal products. So you can use different types of metals in the construction industry. Might be you can use in the part of roofing, might be you can use in the part of form work, like that. In so many aspects, in so many works, we can use the metals. And especially in the steel structures, if you considered in the construction of truss and all, so that time this metal works can be easily seen with a efficient manner, because there we need to give the absolute length of that metal just to hold from one member to the other, and we need to provide the proper hole system just to connect from one member to the other. So here these metal workers can be much used in the cutting and giving the clear dimension of the metals to the required construction work. Okay, and here this is the specialized profession which requires training and experience. So not only because that work metal must be very precise, but also the level of danger that is associated with the working environment. So here you need to go for welding and cutting process. So that time, if you want to cut that particular metal, that machines will be much heavier, so that we need to carry out this work with more safety precautions, such that no accident should be takes place while executing these works. Okay, so for this, for the main reason of this work, it should be with a much safety. So only that experience as well as the knowledge as well as the technique behind this work should be much required for the labors. So only the selected people can be used in the metal works. So moving on to the next class of labor, that is electrician. So just to give the electrical connections from one room to another one, these electricians will be used. So they are specialized in electrical works of the buildings and related equipment. So here electricians may be employed in the construction of new buildings or maintenance of existing electrical infrastructure. So that is depends upon the experience, that how exactly they need to place the electrical connections which should be nearer, and whatever the usage of the materials also it should be minimized. So like that they need to fix the electrical connections, so that we can use the electricity in every room with the effective manner. And then moving on to the next class of labor, that is plumber. So here in plumber, so here basically you'll be knowing about the role of plumber. So these plumbers, they install, repair and maintain the piping systems such as solid waste, vent and potable water, wastewater treatment, gas systems such as medical, propane and natural. So wherever it is required, that connection should be given by the through the pipe system. So there these plumbers can be used. Either you can consider in residential, commercial or industrial buildings, and at any utility sites. So wherever they will be, we will be using the pipe system, so that time we can be use this class of labors called plumbers. Okay, and here the plumbing task that require the ability to assemble, install, and maintain and repair of pipes, right? So if something got damaged with respect to pipes, then these plumbers will come and fix that one with those experience skills, right? So here, not only the repairing of the pipes, even we can use the fittings, fixtures, and then appliance of heating water, storm and sanitary drainage systems according to the specifications and plumbing codes. So they will be having certain codes and specifications. So by using those codes, they are going to carry out the work such that only that quality of the pipes which are belongs to Indian standard code books can be used in the plumbing work. And here the plumbers they install sanitary fixtures such as lavatories, toilets, bathtubs, bathroom accessories, showers, kitchen sinks, and appliances, drinking fountains, and even the laundry equipment. Okay, so each and everything wherever we will be using the pipe like systems, so in each and every aspects we can be use these types of, I mean, class of labors called plumbers. And here you can see the painters. So usually painters are often the last line of construction works, basically comes at the stage of finishing. Okay, so workers to finish a particular project that before the tenants occupy the structure. The main duty of this painter is to provide not only the aesthetic considerations for base structures but also they enhance the natural shape of a building and provide the additional protection from weather, wear, and tear and natural aging process. To just to give the protecting layer to the constructed building, they will be giving certain appliances by using the paints. And then equipment operator. So here equipment operator is nothing but a driver or operator of heavy equipments that are used in the engineering and the construction projects. So they may be any special function titles such as marriageman, brakeman, compressor operator, and then elevator operator. So different types of equipment operators can be named here as per the given work, such as batsman, brakeman, compressor operator, and even elevator operator. And next class of labors is site supervisor. So in any construction site, the supervisor monitors ongoing construction to ensure that the work is being done correctly and project execution stays on schedule. So before the planning stage, we'll be planning when exactly we need to finish the different activities and which are the resources are required for this. So each and everything will be monitored by the site engineer so that within that particular schedule, the site engineer is going to finish this entire work. Okay, and here the measure of productivity is defined as a total output per one unit of a total input. So it's nothing but the ratio of total output divided by total input. So in construction, the output is usually expressed in weight, length, or volume, and the input resources usually in cost of labor or man hours. Okay, so there are standard available different standards which are available in the construction industry for the contractors as a reference value for purpose of construction cost estimation. So these standards they may be vary in values, but most are similar in principle. Okay, so that is with respect to productivity part of this site supervisor. So along with this carpenter, sorry, the site supervisor, even we can place one more class of labors, the carpenter. So in the construction industry, the job scope for carpenter is construct, erect, install, or repair the structures, fittings, or furniture made of wood, building frameworks, including the partitions, joists, truss, rafters, wood staircases, window, and a door frame. So wherever these woodworks will be applied, such as in the doors or windows, and even you can see in the roofing part, such as in the truss part and all, we can use these woods. Okay, and even in the staircase also, if we require the wooden staircases, that time also we can use the help of this carpenter. Okay, and here they build the wood framing for houses, roofs, stairs, decks, and construct the formwork to support the concrete work such as footings, columns, and stairs. Okay, so besides that, they also involves carpentry work to install the cabinets. Not only the cabinets, even you can include the sidings, drywall rails, building cabinets, and even the countertops. And they may include the work on drywall, wood flooring, metal jambs, and even the ceiling. So these are the places where we can use the maximum part of the materials, that is the wood. So this works it can be carried by the carpenter. Okay, so normally these carpenters are skilled in exterior and interior finish of works. So interior in the sense, you can see the showcases and furnitures required in the household things. So that also it comes under in a skilled part, so that we can be use this class of labors, especially in the wooden works. So now we'll start with the labor productivity part. So here productivity that generally measures of the rate at which the work is performed is called productivity. So it is a ratio of a production output to what is required to produce it. Okay, the measure of this productivity is defined as a total output per unit of a total input. Okay, so in construction, the output is usually expressed in weight, length, or volume, and the input resource is usually in cost of labor or man hours. So there are many standards which are available in the construction industry for contractors as a reference values for purpose of construction cost estimation. So these standards they may be vary in values, but most of are similar in principle. Okay, so here this labor productivity, which is an important aspect of construction industry that may be used as an index for efficiency of the production. So it's nothing but what this productivity, which is most important thing just to gain the more profit. Sorry, just to gain the more profit in the construction industry. So here efficient management of the construction resources, it can be lead to a higher productivity which can help to achieve the cost as well as the time saving. So if the labors there with a well experienced person, so easily that work which will get finished in an earlier time, so that it's directly gives in the much profit. And here you can see productivity is generally ratio of output to input. So in the form of equation, it can be shown as follows. That is productivity. We can say that output divided by input. So here output we have studied how exactly it will be there, and inputs are how much quantity of the resources are required. And total output, even one more formula is there, that is total output by total work done. So here different measures of productivity serves different purposes, that is again dependent upon the labor cost as well as the work hour, right? So this first labor productivity that is dependent upon the labor cost, that is how exactly we are going to pay the cost for them, whether it is with the daily wages or whether it is which is with the monthly wages. And work hours, again that is depends upon the total works what we are expecting from the labors. Okay, so that is also we can measure the labor productivity part in the construction industry. So here this labor productivity, which is most important to improve the efficiency of production by improving the productivity of the labor. Okay, so here this construction is labor oriented industry, and it heavily relies on the skills of its workforce. The labor is industry's most